Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Today we are talking skincare for mature skin. Now, anybody that's watched this channel before knows I hate the term mature skin. I think it's just a little bit offensive, it's laced with some really just negative connotations, and actually, I don't see why our skin should be mature at a certain age. You know, our skin does change as we get older, but it changes in different ways, and you know, somebody at a certain age point could have totally different skin to the same person at that age point, so I hate the idea that we just bracket everyone together in one age and as one skin type. However, this is the standard terminology used in the skincare industry when we're formulating products and when we're talking about skin types. So whilst it's a shame, a lot of people do ask me for recommendations of products for mature skin, which is why I'm sitting down and filming this today. But you could see it as a wider anti-aging or preventative skincare routine. If you want some better terminology, that's how I'd probably badge it. So before we get in, let's talk about how our skin changes over time. As we age, traditionally we'll see our skin dry a little bit. Our oil glands, our sebaceous glands become less active, and so on the whole our skin will dry over time. For someone like me who started out oily and acne prone, that's actually not a terrible thing, and it's probably one of the few benefits of having oily skin in your teens, 20s and 30s is that you probably won't have such dry skin when you hit your 60s, 70s and 80s. That obviously comes with some benefits. However, for most people you will notice some significant drying as we tend to age. Similarly, our body's ability to produce and synthesize collagen decreases over time. So where we have really plump and firm and taut skin in our 20s and 30s, by about 24, our skin's production of collagen does start to slow down. So over time it goes like that, and we start to see that loss of firmness and elasticity in our skin, which nobody wants. A lot of people often complain about like the jowls, the hanging skin around the jawline. This is all as a result of a loss of that firmness and elasticity because we're not producing enough collagen and elastin. Also, as we age, we accumulate that photoaging. You know, even the most robust SPF and sunscreen wearer still does expose their skin to some photoaging and photo damage from the UV rays, and that accumulates over time. Obviously, as we are in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, we've accumulated far more sun damage than when we're in our teens and our 20s. And so we will start to see an increased rate of hyperpigmentation, melasma, and just darker spots and coloration on the skin. This, I think, is the number one concern people have, because I think it's the number one thing people associate with aging and older skin is the dark spots, the discoloration, and the uneven skin tone. However, do not fear, because whatever age you happen to be watching this video at, there are definitely things you can mix up in your routine, you know, change it around and bring some benefits to the skin, which is what I'm going to cover today. All the products I've used come from The Ordinary. That's just because A, I love the line, they're cruelty free, they're affordable, and they're just a great price point, and I've got experience with all their products. But I will be also tossing in some other recommendations from some other brands to mix it up if you do want to look outside The Ordinary brand. So let's get straight into it, and the number one anti-aging or must-have product for mature skin is azelaic acid. You hear me bang on about this all the time on the channel. I really hope that 2021, as we move into the new year, azelaic acid will increase in prominence as people will jump on the bandwagon of how amazing an ingredient it really is. It will help to calm any redness, sensitivity. It's great for rosacea, which people do become more prone to as their skin ages. It's also got some proven benefit to trigger that collagen production, and it will just help to even out the skin tone. It's sort of like an all-in-one. Now, it's by no means the most powerful ingredient for tackling hyperpigmentation, for tackling redness, and for tackling some of the discoloration in the skin, but it's a really nice base ingredient that I think is a must-have in all skincare routines. You really need to pick the right azelaic acid for your skin type. I did a whole video which I'll leave a link to up there to help you explore the right one for your skin type. The Ordinary, absolutely fantastic for anyone with very dry skin. The Geek and Gorgeous one, the A-Pad, which I love, is much more gentle and more suitable for people with sensitive skin. And there's some really nice azelaic acids that I explore in that video for all skin types, so check that out. Once you've got your azelaic acid in your routine as just a base must-have, you can then add some real powerful actives to help with that anti-aging. My number one would be copper peptides. This again, like azelaic acid, I feel that 2020 has been the year everyone's discovered how amazing copper peptides are. Peptides really help to hydrate the skin, which again, we said the skin tends to get drier as we age, so that hydration is really welcome. They also help even out the skin tone, which tackles one of the other issues we have as our skin ages. But most importantly, and this is specific to copper peptides that will help trigger the production of collagen. The reason for that is these copper peptides are broken down by the body to amino acids, which then the skin uses to build up to collagen and elastin. It's like the core building blocks of our collagen and elastin. The more amino acids we have in our life, obviously the more collagen that our body can synthesize, and so it just stems that rate of decline in the collagen levels in our skin. Copper peptides have become so popular this year. There are so many good products out there. My holy grail, like ride or die product, comes from The Ordinary, which is their buffet with copper peptides. This combines hydrating peptides, evening peptides, transmitter peptides, and also, most importantly, the copper peptides to trigger that production of collagen. Just a really gorgeous product. If you really want to get some results, that'll take about, I'd say, 6 weeks to start seeing those results. If you want a powerhouse, fantastic product that will get results much quicker and just deliver what I think is the best form of the copper peptides in the best delivery method, I would reach for the NIOD Copper Amino Isolate Serum. This is just beautiful. It's packed full of copper peptides, but also it's in a formulation which really helps deliver them to where they're needed to do the work. A lot of the time when we're applying our serums, the skin can't use all of the product we're putting on it, so quite a bit of it is wasted. With this, the delivery mechanism is so targeted, it makes sure that instead of wasting around 50% of the peptides we put on our skin, this delivers 90% of them to where they need to be to do that work. So you just get a whole lot more bang for your buck. It costs a little bit more, but I genuinely think it's worth it. I love that product. There are so many others that you can choose from, and I'll leave a link below to some of my favorite copper peptide including products out there, but those two are the ones that I would really go for. Now, you've tackled some of the issues around redness and sensitivity that might increase as we age. You've got your firmness and elasticity back by, and under control by including those firmness enhancing copper peptides. And now you need to really look at some of the dryness that we might be experiencing as our skin ages. For me, the best way to do that is to mix up your exfoliator. As I was in my teens, I was all salicylic acid based. Then I moved into my 20s and 30s and it was all about the glycolic acid, getting those quick results and the maximum benefit from our exfoliators. Now, as I'm reaching, the mid 30s and going into the 40s, my skin is starting to dry a little bit, and I find glycolic acid to just be a little bit too stripping. Glycolic acid is one of the most drying of the exfoliating acids, so as your skin starts to dry, you really want to start to look to replace that with something that's more hydrating. My go-to at the moment is The Ordinary 10% lactic acid plus hyaluronic acid. This is a gorgeous product. Not only are you getting the hyaluronic acid in there, which is going to supercharge your hydration, but lactic acid itself is a great exfoliator and a humectant. So it's going to actually draw and retain moisture in the skin. So if you're finding your exfoliator is becoming increasingly drying to the skin, moving to lactic acid could really help resolve that, and you'll still get that fantastic exfoliation. A lot of people say, do I still need to exfoliate as I get older? They associate exfoliation with preventing acne and breakouts. Totally wrong. It's all about bringing the luminosity, the vibrancy back to the skin, and the best way to do that is to keep exfoliating, turning over those cells, increasing the rate of cellular turnover, and making sure that you have that fresh, glowing skin, that you're wearing that every day rather than a mask of dead skin cells. So I am fully on board with exfoliating as we get older. I just think we might need to think a bit more carefully about the type of exfoliator we use, and lactic acid could be our friend. Sticking kind of with hydration, you now need to think about how you're going to boost that hydration level further. Reaching for the natural moisturizing factors, Moisturizer by The Ordinary, was fine in our teens, in our 20s, and in our 30s. But as our skin does get that little bit older, actually it's really hard to keep and maintain that hydration. One of my top hacks, which I included in like a hydration hack video, which I'll leave a link to up there, is to drop a few drops of your favorite facial oil into your moisturizer. That just dials it up from being a bog standard, great hydrating moisturizer to a supercharged hydration powerhouse. Still keeping with the natural moisturizing factors by The Ordinary. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and it really works for that hydration. Drop a couple of drops of your facial oil in and transform it. My recommendation for slightly more mature skin, that when you're focusing about dehydration, and that can obviously lead to anti-aging, my favorite would be the bee oil from The Ordinary. You could also use like the jojoba oil or the argan oil. They'll all work really great to hydrate the skin, but the bee oil is a beautiful blend of some really hydrating, gorgeous oils. oils, all cold pressed, all 100% natural, all beautifully formulated to deliver that hydration boost when we need it. 1 or 2 drops into your moisturizer transforms it, mixes it up, and just really will give you that gorgeous hydration that we tend to lose as our skin ages. Now finally, I don't think I could do an anti-aging video without mentioning retinol. For me, retinol is, you're never too young to start retinol. You know, in your 20s, in your 30s, it's just as important as when you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. Our skin benefits from retinol no matter what age we are, and so if you haven't got one in already, definitely think about including it in your routine. From The Ordinary, I would recommend the Gran Active Retinoid Emulsion 2%, easy to sink in, really great strength, and will deliver those great anti-aging benefits. If you want to stray away from The Ordinary because you've got, some of their retinols aren't as good as others, I think the Emulsion is the best of the ones they offer, but by no means is it the best retinol out there. You can start with something like the Inculis Gran Active Retinoid. That one is super gentle and great for that introduction to retinol. My favourite is the Indeed Labs Retinol Rephase. In fact, I included that as one of my top picks from Indeed Labs when I did a whole review of the brand, which I'll leave a link to up there. So you might want to check that out, but that's a really great starter retinol. Of course, Paula's Choice do some really great retinols, and one of my favourites at the moment is the AGEING by Geek and Gorgeous. This is the one I'm reaching for at the moment, and I mix and match it with my prescription retinol. It doesn't dry the skin out too much. They now do a 5% and a 10% strength. Obviously, the percentages on retinols can be a little bit confusing, so don't take that to mean it's like 5 times the strength of the 2% Gran Active Retinoid I mentioned earlier from The Ordinary. Different formulations, different vitamin A derivatives have different percentages. But they do a 5%, which I'd say is a mid-strength vitamin A derivative, and they do a 10%, which is on the higher end. I would definitely say the 10% is closer to a prescription strength than other products that are on the market. That's what I'm reaching for at the moment, and my skin is loving it, so I would definitely recommend you check that one out. There you are, guys. I've covered, as everyone's demanded, I've covered the mature skin market. I'd love if we could move away from talking about mature skin. I don't think as you get older, you'd need to become any more mature. I think you should still be immature and living your best life at whatever age you are. And the same goes for your skin. I don't think we should have that one-size-fits-all catchment of mature skin, because to me, it just is a little bit, I don't know, I think it's a bit oversimplistic for the sort of things we could be tackling in our skincare routine. Obviously, you might have a very specific issue, such as hyperpigmentation, that you really want to supercharge your attack of. And so you might want to look to up the strength of the products you're using. I'll leave a link to some other videos that might be of interest in the description box below, just if you want to explore some of these elements a bit further. But wherever you are in the world, whatever the age of your skin, and however old you feel, if you're still feeling in your 20s and you're in your 80s, you go for it, live your best life. I plan to be as immature as I can be in my 50s as what I was in my teens, and nobody can stop me. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.